Every morning gives you a choice. You can rise with purpose, or you can roll over and surrender to laziness. And the truth is, laziness doesn't start in your body. It starts in your mind. If you want to destroy laziness, you must start your morning with a decision, not an alarm. When that alarm rings, it's not just a sound, it's a question. Are you getting up because you have to or because you choose to? Purposeful people don't wake up because they are forced to. They wake up because they are called. So the first decision you make every morning must be this: I will not let comfort control me today. Before the world starts shouting, you must command your mind. Too many people wake up and immediately hand their attention to distractions, messages, notifications, noise. But you cannot destroy laziness if you start your day reacting. You must start by leading. Speak to your own mind. Declare what your day will be. Tell yourself what you expect from your focus, your discipline, your energy, because a mind that is commanded early will not drift later. And when you take control of your thoughts, laziness loses its power. Then you must move your body. Laziness thrives when your body stays still. It grows in the places where your energy is dormant. You don't have to run a marathon or lift heavy weights. You just need movement. Stretch, walk, breathe deeply, get your blood flowing, because when your body wakes up, your purpose wakes up. Physical motion creates internal momentum, and that momentum pushes laziness out of your system. The enemy of laziness is activation. But destroying laziness is not just physical, it is spiritual. Before you feed your schedule, you must feed your spirit. Start with gratitude, start with prayer, start with reflection, start with a moment that aligns you with something bigger than your mood. When your spirit is grounded, excuses cannot shake you. When your heart is centered, distractions cannot pull you. Laziness has no place in a life that is aligned. Now, once your spirit is grounded, write down the day you want to create. Don't let the morning slip into chaos. Laziness loves confusion. It thrives when there is no plan. But clarity kills laziness. Write your goals. Write your priorities. Write the actions you must take today. When your day is written, your direction becomes undeniable. You don't waste time wondering what to do because you already know. A plan gives you momentum before the day even begins. And finally, do one hard thing immediately. Don't wait. Don't warm up. Don't negotiate with yourself. Go straight at something meaningful. Tackle a challenge. Complete a task you've been avoiding. Push yourself into motion. Because once you start, momentum will carry you. Laziness cannot survive in a life that starts fast. When you do something difficult at the beginning of the day, the rest of the day falls in line. The discipline you build in the first hour becomes the strength you carry for the next 23. Destroying laziness is not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about choosing discipline over comfort, purpose over excuses, and action over delay. Every morning gives you another chance to win the battle. And if you follow these principles every morning, laziness won't stand a chance. You will rise with purpose, walk with clarity, and live with the unstoppable energy of someone who refuses to let comfort control their destiny. Waking up with a decision means you stop letting the alarm clock dictate your life and start letting your purpose do it. The alarm is just a sound. It cannot give you discipline, it cannot give you drive, and it cannot give you direction. What changes your life is the decision you make in the first few seconds of your day. When you open your eyes, you are not just waking up from sleep, you are waking up into your assignment. Most people hear the alarm and negotiate with themselves. 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, I'll start later. That negotiation is the birthplace of laziness. Every time you delay, you teach your mind that comfort is more important than commitment. But when you wake up with a decision, you teach your mind something different. You teach it that purpose comes first. You teach it that your future matters more than your feelings. You teach it that hesitation has no place in your morning. Waking up with a decision means you rise with authority. You get out of bed because you've already chosen who you're going to be today. You don't wait to feel ready. You don't wait to feel motivated. You move because you've decided to move. You act because you've committed to act. That single choice eliminates the internal debate that destroys momentum. When you make the decision before the day even begins, today I'm showing up for my goals, my calling, my future, you silence the voice of laziness before it even speaks. And the truth is, when you start your morning with a firm decision, the rest of the day aligns itself around that strength. You begin your day as the leader of your life, not a follower of your comfort. Commanding your mind before the world interrupts means taking charge of your thoughts before external noise, demands, or distractions have a chance to shape your day. Most people wake up and immediately hand over their mental authority. They check messages, scroll social media, react to notifications, and allow the world to dictate what they think, feel, and focus on. But when you start your day in reaction mode, laziness finds an open door. Why? Because an unfocused mind becomes a distracted mind, and a distracted mind becomes an unmotivated one. If you want to destroy laziness, you must decide that the first voice you hear in the morning is your own, not the world's. Commanding your mind means speaking direction into your thoughts. It means telling yourself what kind of day you're going to have, what type of energy you're going to bring, and what level of discipline you will operate in. Your thoughts set the tone, and your tone sets the standard. When you affirm clarity, your actions align with clarity. When you affirm discipline, your body follows discipline. When you affirm focus, distractions lose their power. This isn't about hype, it's about control. Because if you don't command your mind, something else will. And whatever commands your mind eventually commands your life. This morning, practice builds mental strength. It builds emotional stability. It builds inner leadership. And when you lead your mind early, laziness has no room to lead you later. You start your day anchored, intentional, and self-directed. You create a mindset that can't be shaken by inconvenience, discomfort, or temptation. Before anyone else gets access to your attention, you give that access to your purpose. You take the first few minutes of the day and program your mind with the focus, belief, and discipline you want to carry. When you live this way, you don't just destroy laziness, you outgrow it. Moving your body to activate your potential means understanding that laziness is not just a mindset, it's a physical state. When your body is still, your energy is low. When your energy is low, your motivation drops. And when motivation drops, excuses rise. Most people wait to feel motivated before they move, not realizing that movement is what creates motivation in the first place. The moment you get your body in motion, stretching, walking, breathing deeply, exercising, anything, you ignite something inside you that laziness cannot survive. Movement wakes up parts of you that sleep through the rest of the day when you start slow. It shifts your physiology, sharpens your focus, and strengthens your discipline. Your body is the engine of your potential, and engines are not designed to sit idle. When you move early in the morning, you create circulation, clarity, and momentum. Your blood flows, your energy rises, your mind becomes alert. That physical activation becomes mental activation. You start thinking faster, deciding quicker, and acting with more confidence. Laziness thrives in a body that feels heavy, stiff, and tired. But the moment you move, that heaviness breaks. Your body signals your mind, we're awake, we're active, we're ready, and your mind responds with the same intensity. Moving your body is also a way of telling yourself, I'm committed. It is an early, visible, undeniable action that proves you're serious about the day. And once you've taken one intentional step, you're far more likely to take the next. Movement creates momentum, and momentum is the enemy of laziness. When you train your body to move every morning, even in small ways, you're training your life to move forward every day. You don't just activate your muscles, you activate your potential. Feeding your spirit before you feed your schedule means choosing alignment over activity. Most people wake up and rush straight into tasks, responsibilities, deadlines, and demands. They jump into the day with a busy mind and an empty spirit. And when your spirit is empty, it doesn't matter how much you try to push yourself, laziness, distraction, and discouragement will always find a way in. But when you take time in the morning to nourish your inner world, everything in your outer world becomes easier to handle. You become stronger, calmer, clearer, and more disciplined because you're not operating from pressure, you're operating from purpose. Feeding your spirit can look different for everyone. Prayer, meditation, gratitude, reflection, reading something uplifting, or simply sitting in silence. What matters is that you create space to align yourself with something greater than your mood, your circumstances. When you start your morning grounded, your emotions don't dictate your decisions. Your fears don't control your focus. Your doubts don't determine your discipline. You carry a sense of direction that laziness cannot compete with. A fueled spirit produces a focused mind. And a focused mind produces a productive day. This practice also reconnects you with why you're doing what you're doing. Laziness grows when you forget your purpose. It grows when you're moving through life on autopilot, disconnected from meaning. But when you feed your spirit first, you bring your why into your morning. You remember your goals, your values, your mission, your blessings. You remember that your life is bigger than temporary comfort. And when your spirit is full, your excuses feel small. You're not just preparing to work, you're preparing to walk in your assignment. You step into your day with intention, strength, and clarity, and suddenly the things that once felt heavy become manageable. When your spirit has been fed, laziness has nothing left to feed on. Writing down the day you want to create is one of the most powerful weapons you have against laziness because it removes the enemy's greatest advantage, uncertainty. Laziness thrives when you don't know what to do, when your day is vague, when your priorities are scattered. The moment your morning lacks direction, your mind begins drifting, your energy lowers, and your discipline weakens. But when you put your plans on paper, you replace confusion with clarity. You stop reacting to the day and start designing it. Writing forces your mind to focus, organize, and commit. It takes the ideas floating in your head and turns them into a roadmap you can actually follow. Putting pen to paper does something remarkable. It creates accountability. When your goals and actions are written, they become visible, they become real, and they become measurable. You can't lie to yourself as easily. You can't pretend you didn't know what to do. Your priorities are right in front of you. And that structure gives your mind momentum. Instead of asking, what should I do next? You already know. You wake up with direction, and direction destroys delay. A written plan doesn't just organize your day, it organizes your energy. Writing down the day you want to create also protects your time. When you don't plan your day, other people will. Distractions will. Emergencies will. Your emotions will. But when your schedule is written, you operate with intention. You decide what deserves your attention and what doesn't. You choose what moves your life forward and what slows you down. You become proactive instead of reactive. Laziness loses its grip because your day already has structure, purpose, and targets. Most importantly, writing down your day reminds you that you are the creator of your life, not a passenger. You don't wake up hoping for a productive day, you design one. And when your day is designed, your actions follow the blueprint. Each written task you check off builds momentum, confidence, and discipline. This simple habit transforms your mindset from drifting to directing, from guessing to executing. And once you start living your days with clarity, laziness doesn't just weaken, it disappears. Doing one hard thing immediately is the fastest way to kill laziness because it forces your mind and body to step into discipline before excuses have the chance to wake up. Most people ease into their day. They warm up, they procrastinate, they choose something simple just to feel productive. But what they're really doing is giving laziness room to grow. When you start with something easy, your mind stays in comfort mode. But when you start with something difficult, you break that comfort instantly. You shock your system into action. You send a message to yourself, today I lead, today I conquer, today I don't negotiate with weakness. Doing something hard first thing in the morning builds immediate momentum. Momentum is powerful because once you start succeeding, your brain wants to keep going. That first challenging action becomes the spark that ignites the rest of your day. Maybe it's a tough workout, a difficult phone call, a project you've been avoiding, or a task that demands focus. Once you attack that challenge, everything else feels lighter, easier, and more manageable. You've already proven to yourself that you're bigger than your excuses. You've already demonstrated that discipline is stronger than your comfort. This habit also rewires your identity. Every hard thing you conquer early sends a signal to your subconscious. I am the kind of person who does what others delay. I am the kind of person who finishes what I start. I am the kind of person who chooses growth over comfort. That identity becomes your strength. It becomes your confidence. It becomes your shield against laziness. Because laziness doesn't survive in a mind that believes in its own capability. And there's something else. Doing the hard thing releases pressure. When you avoid difficult tasks, they sit in your mind all day, draining your energy, increasing your stress, and lowering your motivation. But when you knock out that challenge early, you free your mental space. You feel lighter, you feel stronger, you feel accomplished. That internal victory creates external productivity. Doing one hard thing immediately is not just about discipline, it's about direction. It's about setting the tone for your day. When you choose courage in the first hour, laziness has no place in the next 23. You walk into your day with momentum, strength, and unstoppable determination. You don't wait for motivation. You create it. You don't wait for the day to become productive. You make it productive. You begin your morning with a win, and one win leads to another. Laziness isn't destroyed in one moment. It's destroyed through the decisions you make every morning. When you wake up with purpose instead of permission, when you command your mind before distractions can claim it, when you move your body to activate your energy, when you nourish your spirit before your schedule, when you design your day with clarity, and when you attack one hard thing immediately, you build a life laziness cannot survive in. These habits turn your mornings into momentum and your momentum into mastery. Every day becomes a new chance to rise stronger, think clearer, and act with greater discipline. Laziness loses its power the moment you stop waiting for motivation and start creating it. You don't need a perfect morning, you need an intentional one. And when you choose consistency over comfort, action over excuses, and purpose over procrastination, you will watch your life transform one morning at a time. You weren't created to live small, slow, or stagnant. You were created to rise. And if you commit to these principles each morning, you won't just destroy laziness, you'll unleash the unstoppable version of yourself.